Hello, hello, hi, hi, folks. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, and I help folks create a side income using social media. Welcome, welcome. Hey, how about this? A decent hour for a change. Not too bad. Not too bad, even for my friends in the East Coast. What is happening? So, have you ever thought about Jenny? No, not that. Have you thought about Jenny? Hey, Jenny, what's happening? Welcome, welcome. Have you ever thought about what effect you can have on somebody based on the way you treat them? Now, when they're nice to you and they're good to you and all that great stuff, yes, you're going to treat them amazing, right? You're going to be nice to them. You're going to feed them love, be there for them, all that. That's kind of normal unless you're not just the nice person, right? When somebody is good to you, you're going to treat them nice, right? Now, what happens if they make a mistake? Mistake, not that they do you wrong, but they actually made a mistake. How would you treat them then? Well, a guy is in church on Sunday and his phone goes off. Have you ever had that happen? Maybe you were the one whose phone went off, or you've been in church or in, I don't know, theater or in a play, and the phone goes off. That's so embarrassing, right? Imagine that person, right? So this phone, it goes off, and obviously he gets all nervous and stuff. He tries to shut it off. Well, the pastor kind of gives him, scorns him a little bit. Um, the fellow folks in church, after walking out, they kind of give him a hard time, right? Hey, you should turn your phone off the next time, that kind of a thing. His wife won't stop talking about it in the car. Why would you do that? Why would you bring your phone? You always embarrass me. This time in church, yeah, it won't stop. All this stuff won't stop, right? Well, that night he gets kind of he's kind of had a tough day, right? He goes to the bar, and he's sitting at the bar. He orders himself a drink, gets a drink, slips out of his hand, falls on the bar, drink gets everywhere. The glass rolls down the bar, crack on the floor, and just like splashes on some guy that is right next to him, right? And he just makes a mess. And then everybody looks at him, kind of like what happened at church. This time it's glass. Well, the bartender comes up to him and says, "Hey, man, what's going on? You okay?" The guy next to him that got drink all over him, he goes, "Hey, man, you look like you're having a bad day. You okay, man? It's all right. No problem. I get you a drink." The bartender says, "No worries. I'm gonna clean this up, the counter." Somebody comes and cleans the floor, right? Gets all the glasses and cleans the floor. Jenny, Gloria, what's up? Glow. Man, my glasses, I may need to change them. And the manager comes up and kind of pats him on the back and says, "Hey, man, no worries. We all make a mistake. I'll get you another drink." That dude hasn't stopped going to that bar. You wonder why? The way you treat people makes a big difference. At church, imagine your phone goes off, and this is where forgiveness, love, patience not only is taught, but is encouraged to be practiced, right? Like not just at church, everywhere. So you're at church, your phone goes off, and you get just, you just get, you get it from all angles, right? It's exhausting, embarrassing. Doesn't make you want to go back. And then something happens at a bar and everybody's up to help you. You kind of wonder. Now, you kind of wonder, well, uh, you're not allowed to bring anything. You know what? I actually leave my stuff in the car. I just don't like to take my phone inside because I'll be tempted. So I just don't take them. I just leave it in the car. I turn it off actually, and I leave it in the car, and that's the best way to do it. And then I mean, it's only an hour and a half, and then I come out and turn it on. And if somebody I meet at church, um, I tell them I don't have my phone, just text me, and I get it when I get in the car. And they're like, okay. I just told them I don't bring my phone. So I've shared this quote many times. Buddha said, I would be a Christian if it weren't for Christians. Okay. Never said Jesus sucks. Never said I don't believe in Jesus. Said, you know what? Christians ruin it. Ruin something that's so beautiful, right? Now, I don't want to give a religious talk. I'm not qualified, but I do want to give you this. How many times you ruin it for somebody who just got in the business with you? How many times when their phone goes off, you just pound them with just ridicule them, and you don't make a friendly environment for people to come and join and check you out and walk with you, run with you, whatever. How many times, because people don't produce or because people don't buy or rebuy, how many times you put them away? You don't talk to them anymore. You don't text them anymore. The friendship stops. How many times? How does that make them feel? So all that was just like to get a sell out of them? Really? I have many friends who bought from me like once, twice, and we're still talking. Doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean? It's all good. So, and I have people who never bought from me and we're still friends and talk. Why? Because I've always had this policy when I was in corporate as well, when I ran a team or was in an office or what have you. I always had an open door policy. Now, if my door was closed, you got to knock on it before you come in. But open door policy meant, you know what? Um, you can come in with anything. If it's a problem, you better bring a solution, a possible solution, a suggested solution as well. Otherwise, I won't hear you. I mean, that's just been my style for years. Some of you know that already who worked with me. But how many times you make it so uncomfortable for somebody to be around you? People are not like transactions anymore. And we treat them like that so often. You gotta make, hey, listen, I've said this many times, probably not the wisest thing to say on camera, but hey, I'll say it. The stuff I sell, the stuff I promote are not cheap. I know that already. I've talked about this a couple times before. I know my collagen is probably the most expensive collagen on the market. I get that. I know that. I know. But I also know that it does amazing things for you, right? So I know it's expensive. I get it. Now, people buy it once and they don't buy it again. I get it. But I still create an environment where it wasn't about the coffee you bought from me or the collagen you bought from me or when your phone rang in my group. It's all good, baby. No problem. You're probably more embarrassed than I am. It wasn't my phone. Why would I be embarrassed? It's your phone. I'm pretty sure you're pretty embarrassed yourself. I don't need to pound on you. No, I'm gonna go there. Okay, hold on. How many parents do that to their kids? You know, you don't create an environment where your kid can come and speak to you freely about anything. They go talk to a stranger instead. People make mistakes. Mistakes are not intentional. They didn't plan this great scheme of plan to take you down. They made a mistake. Just the phone rang in the church. The guy's probably a lot more like this than anybody else, right? So, if that's the case, guilty but I learned from it. Network marketing is about building relationships. Yeah, in a way it is. In a way it is. It's raw relationships. It really is. You're taking a raw relationship. Oh man, that's a good topic. It's a raw relationship and you're trying to just cook it, put it in the oven, marinate it, cook it, grow it, what have you, right? So I just encourage you, if you're in the business, or here it is, even if you're in a relationship, um, your partner needs to feel that they can come to you and speak to you. Now, listen to me. I'm not I'm not perfect in partnership. Okay. I'm always a work in progress. I get it. I totally get it. Okay. But you got to be able to create an environment where you guys could just talk about things. Hey, listen to this. Hey, listen to that. Without taking it personal. This is like one of the biggest things, right? See, if the phone rings in the church and you brought that guy to church, then do you feel guilty? Right? Same thing in a relationship, right? You got to be you have to have a you have to create an environment where the other person can come speak with you. Now, let me tell you something. Okay. That doesn't mean what they're going to share with you is not going to upset you, right? Because you may have made a mistake that was, oops, more than I spilled the milk, right? So, but still, that environment needs to be there. It needs to be created. And it starts from the beginning, right? You recruit somebody into the team, it starts from the beginning. They say they want to leave, you love on them. I didn't do that before. You have that environment where they can come talk to you. I have teammates, okay? I have people on my team, true talk, real talk, okay? That a couple of them, a couple times wanted to leave, right? And this is a while back. And they came to me and they said, hey, we're thinking of leaving. That 2 different times, 2 different people, okay? And I give them the same answer every time. I said, the hell you are. No, I'm just kidding. I said, the heck you are, right? And then we had a discussion, and obviously they're here still. The reason why I tell you that is because before, and I see it every day, When people leave, they don't tell their uplines. 9.99999 out of 10, the upline gets surprised. Just like, what happened? They left. It's happened to me too, right? Because that environment, I feel like at the same time, you know what? This is a whole other discussion. But at the same time, it's your MVPs too, right? Your morals, your values, your principles. Hey, you come forward, you speak, you talk because you have that environment where you can go back and forth, discuss, not put somebody down because they made a mistake, right? A church is supposed to be an environment. Do you know that, okay, do you know that a church is a place where most people who are not Christians go there? You don't have that situation with a mosque, a synagogue. You don't have that situation with anywhere else. A church is a place where there's a ton of people in there who are not Christians. Ton. Why? Because it's an environment that has been put together to be welcoming to everybody. Nobody checks you at the door, say, hey, but hey, are you a Christian? How long have you been a Christian? Have you been baptized? Have you been Holy Spirited? Okay, you may go ahead. Nobody does that. Do you know how many husbands are in there because their wives are Christians and those guys are playing on their phone? Do you know how many wives are there because their husbands are there and they're like, oh my God, what am I doing here? Do you know how many husbands and wives go there and they're not even Christian? Why? Because nobody is gonna like scan you and check you out and judge you. Now, in the same church, if the phone goes off, like I said, you're probably more embarrassed than I am. And you're an adult. I wouldn't have to tell you, hey, listen, bro, you should turn your phone off. You're like, yeah, I know. I made a mistake, dude. Right? And the same thing happens in your business. Sumir, sorry, I'm so hot about this topic. I haven't read any other comments. Essie, how are you? Samir, welcome, welcome. Jenny, is T Money here? I heard T Money somewhere, maybe. So, welcome, welcome, you guys. So, how many times do we do that in business? How many times do we do that in relationships, friendships, partnerships? I'm encouraging you to create that environment. Like I said, hey, somebody comes to you and tells you something. I didn't say jump up in joy because it may not be that news. You may be like, what the, right? So still, I emphasize this a lot. You've got to have that open door policy where that environment, like a church, is there for anybody to come in, right? And hear the message. You, in a business, network marketing, direct sales, relationship building, affiliate marketing, whatever you want to call it, all this stuff online. You want to create an environment where anybody, as long as they're 18 plus, right? Like my mentor says, his picture on the wall, John, he says, you could be from Yale or jail. Anybody can come in and hear what you got. And then when they leave the church, when they leave what they heard, nobody's going to run in the parking lot and say, hey, you little guy, did you convert? No? Okay. Nobody does that. That same guy comes back next week. nobody runs after him again. That environment is created so anybody can come and go. And same thing with your business, your team especially. This is where culture is created, right? This is culture where people are comfortable in your environment. So I hope you guys got some love, some inspiration, some, I'm going to highlight that. I hope you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. This is important. I think it's a really, especially, I keep talking about this all the time. Christianity and network marketing, there's just so many things that are just like the same, you know. But this is so important because we don't create that culture. We don't create, and I'm so guilty of it. Don't, please. I am just learning all about this. So I've been very guilty of it. So we got to create that culture that it's comfortable for people. Just come in, go, whatever rocks your boat. So anyway, if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, do what you got to do. Spread the love. I see a ton of comments. I get excited over that. I'm going to go respond back. And yeah, with that, I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com. And I help folks create a side income using social media. Signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.